Don't worry about them. They just pray for them. Just don't worry about them. Just look over them. No. You don't do that. People, you can't. So you mean to tell me it's okay for him to go into a store and just do something and people ain't gonna make him responsible? No. If he do something, if he steals something, just hypothetically speaking, if he go and steal something out of a store, they gonna call the cops. And I'm not finna if you tell the cops, oh, well, he just got a mental problem, or he got issues, he going through a lot, don't worry about it. Well, I'm not gonna take on that responsibility. He's not my responsibility. If he has a mental problem, then why is he living by himself? Why the state was like, okay, well, he fine living by himself? Because that's exactly what the lady said. She was like, oh, he could live by himself. He know he gotta pay fucking bills, so. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. But yeah, that's my dude was like, you can't just be okay with, you can't just do that. He was like, ain't nobody ever held him accountable. Ain't nobody ever held him accountable for the shit that he do or the shit that he say. Ain't nobody ever made this man held him, and ain't nobody ever made him. He never had to be responsible for his own actions. Like, he'll get to do something and won't have to say nothing about it. He won't have to do nothing about it. He gonna sit there and tell me, like I told my dude, I'm like, my uncle gonna sit there and tell me, he want me to take him somewhere, but he didn't ask. He was like, tell her she got 6 months to figure it out. That shit still bothers me to this day. And I'm like, I got 6 months. I'm not taking you nowhere. You better catch the fucking bus and go. How else would you gonna get there? But however the hell else you gonna get there, that's how you gonna have to get there. That's how I don't have to do shit for you. And by you demanding that I do this, that, and the third for you, that's not gonna make it no better. That's gonna make nobody really wanna deal with you. Then he gonna be like, well, you can park your car, tell she can park her car back over here. So I'm not doing that. After all that shit you put me through. Now you want to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go park my car back. No. I'm not doing that. No, sir. You're doing too much. You was doing too goddamn much now. But hey, y'all, I need to put some lotion on my leg. I put some lotion on my leg this morning. It still look ashy as hell. But oh well. Ain't going nowhere else special. It's just gonna be ashy. I went and did what I need to do today. Went and got my grease. And took the letter to drop some mail off at the post office. That was all I had to do today. Cause y'all, yeah. But But that's just basically how it went over there. I honestly really didn't want to leave him up there because that's how I feel every time I do go visit. I have to leave without him. The time that I'm up there with him, it's like, oh yeah, and besides the lights kept going off. Like, because it was thundering and raining. It said scattered showers, like they said today. But scattered showers was in the pocket. In the, not podcast, what the hell am I talking about? Scattered showers was in the forecast for yesterday. Y'all, them lights flickered on and off. Like, at least 2 times while I was there. And I'm like, wow, okay. He kept talking about, well, leave the light out. I'm like, you know they're not going to do that. Trust me, they're going to have a backup generator, or they're going to find some way to get it on, or everything. If they can't get the lights back on, then everybody got to go. They're going to cut everything short, because everything out. And then, when it came back on and stayed on, the guy actually gave us an extra hour, and almost an hour and 15 minutes. I'll say like 45 minutes. He gave us an extra 45 minutes. Because most people be like, okay, as soon as it hit that 2 hour mark, You gotta go. You gotta get ready to go. You got like 5 minutes left. As soon as it's like an hour and 20 minutes. You got 5 minutes left, or 10 minutes left, or however long left. Now he was sitting over there for the longest. We was just sitting there talking. Cause I was supposed to have left when the lady that was in front of me and her husband had left from seeing their son or whatever. When they left, I was supposed to be like right after them. But they had left and been gone for at least a good little while. And I was still in there. I'm like, I'm not complaining. I'll take every second I get. And besides, they didn't know the guy, when I got in there, he was like, they didn't send you back here with no paper? I'm like, nope. They ain't sent none of us back here with no paper. They just, because I had set that up. I went up there yesterday. I set that up Thursday. I'm like, and then the thing is, I didn't get to tell him, like, I was supposed to tell him, I was like, the lady, which I'm telling y'all, the lady was like, when I called, she was like, he had his, I did mention this already, she was like, he had his, 2 visits for the month. I'm like, ma'am, no, he didn't. She was like, he had one at the beginning of the month, and then one on the 18th. I'm like, ma'am, I was the only one up there that came up there on the 18th. There's no way possible anybody else could have came up here because he couldn't have no forms of communication. Y'all remember me talking about that? He couldn't have no forms of communication prior to the 18th. So, how the hell did somebody come up there to see him when I couldn't even come up there? So, y'all can't say, oh, well, he didn't already have somebody up there. So she was like, I'm like, no. She was like, hold on, I'm gonna go check. I'm like, okay. I held on to she for a little bit. I could hear her in the background. Then she came back onto the phone or whatever. She was like, okay, so you want to schedule for tomorrow at 1 p.m.? I'm like, yep. I tried to tell you, ain't nobody else been up here. Should nobody have been up there? So, yeah. Y'all can't tell me that, oh, well, he didn't, y'all cannot tell me, oh, well, he already had somebody up here or whatever. I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he did not. So, I don't know what y'all talking about, but no, he did not. Oh, that area over there now. I'm like, no. But then he told me yesterday, he was like, you got some more mail coming. Because when I got there, I'm like, what took you so long to come? When I got there, I'm sitting there waiting. They visited, the people in front of me visit started way before mine started. That's why they was up before mine. Because it took him so long, so to come out. I'm like, they told me, the lady came and told me twice. She was like, they going back there to get him. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, and then the second time I was just sitting there, she came back again. She said, they're going back there, the dude going back there to get him. He's on his way. I'm like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, okay. I'm just sitting there like, okay, it was taking him so long. Then I stopped paying attention. I'm looking back there like, okay, what's taking you so long? Like the way that my phone moving, that's the way my head's moving. Because over there, it's a little hallway, and that's where they come from. Then I stopped paying, all I know, I stopped paying attention. All I know is I stopped paying attention, and I look back up. He was already out there. I'm like, oh, okay. It's good to see you out there. Because, yeah. There you go. Brought his ass right here. Yeah, I'm like, what's about time? like